street, you carry live there. I won't go live. I can take my own phone and go live. Something got to be wrong with you. You call yourself journalist.
Mr. Minister, can I please ask you a question?
You see how stupid it sound? You know how crazy that sound? Let me check my phone to get my web number.
I agree, sir.
I'm working with President Bouaka. His number in my phone. Somebody asked me for Bouaka number. Oh, let me check my phone to see the president number. Does it make sense?
Well, as for me, I'm not having my boss's number off head. It's in my phone. Before them,
I don't care about that. That's your life to live. That's your issue to worry. But when you come to me and you say you're working somewhere and you got your personal phone, it's more of a red flag on you. People that can be passing around lying on people. You lie on somebody's institution. And they won't call the person and say, oh, I don't have the person's phone. Of course, if I have police, I mean, you're not even cross that place. And your labyrinth, you got a problem. There wasn't coaching them when you're beating your, there wasn't coaching you can't hear yourself for you run behind. Your ditch today, who say you own Vision TV? Why they be in your mother? He parked car near Jefferson Koji fence. There's a fence. So I want to imagine you see Jefferson. In fact, you not even get a chance to even run to him because you're working with more than 10 security person. And I want your leg. You create dictators. When you got leaders who want to be civilized and sensitive, you take advantage of them and disrespect them. Then you on the ground and they're beating you, or they not take you a chunky impact or they carry you to jail. So now you sit down, you understand why the balls were rough on you because you can be so disrespectful and disingenuous. You would have never dare go near them because your parents will cry for you. They may not kill you. They be laying down the sub beat by them. They must say, could you understand my deal? Any other balls? They just come to the private place. You running behind them dressed like this.
And that's the main
you in jail.
That's the main reason is that burn people protest.
It's not an issue. It's an issue that you guys have problem. You disrespect people all over the place. That's the issue. That's what other people voted there. Somebody being government official, the very American that are partying democracy for. You can see an American government official and the people just run behind there. You ever saw that before? Never. That's the biggest democracy on earth. But those are people who infiltrate people, very beautiful profession. You're there to damage it. You buy representation among them. You buy apple among the good press people. That's all you people are. I don't know why you want. You pass all around the street, somebody go to the private place, you run it behind them for interview. If the entertainment play, why go sit down, drink one bottle of stuff, you run there and say you can't. Information minister go live from China Mall because you want to show to the world that he can drink beer. What nonsense is that? People got privacy? What stupidity is that? What sense does that tell you yourself who calls yourself journalist? This is a commercial place. Anybody who comes here, either you want to do window shopping, just to know what person is so far, or you can buy something. How is that an issue of going live on Facebook for so-called journalists? How? You explain that to me. That you run to me with a phone already said we capture everything. How is that? How is that journalism? Because why you do it to pass around and beg? If you see a government official you want beg, then just begging. Don't come out and you want to do interviews so that when the interview free time to give you money. That's why you do.
This professor have never begged any government.
So then what the hell you see somebody in their private Sunday, you can say what are you go send? You see somebody in the street, you carry live there. I won't go live. I can take my own phone and go live. Something got to be wrong with you. You call yourself journalist.
Mr. Minister, can I please ask you a question?
You see how stupid it sound? You know how crazy that sound? Let me check my phone to get my web number.
I agree, sir.
I'm working with President Bouaka. His number in my phone. Somebody asked me for Bouaka number. Oh, let me check my phone to see the president number. Does it make sense?
Well, as for me, I'm not having my boss's number off head. It's in my phone. Before them, I
don't care about that. That's your life to live. That's your issue to worry. But when you come to me and you say you're working somewhere and you got your personal phone, it's more of a red flag on you. People that can be passing around lying on people. You lie on somebody's institution. And they won't call the person and say, oh, I don't have the person's phone. Of course, if I have police, I mean, you're not even cross that place. And your labyrinth, you got a problem. There wasn't coaching them when you're beating your, there wasn't coaching you can't hear yourself for you run behind. Your ditch today, who say you own Vision TV? Why they be in your mother? He parked car near Jefferson Koji fence. There's a fence. So I want to imagine you see Jefferson. In fact, you not even get a chance to even run to him because you're working with more than 10 security person. And I want your leg. You create dictators. When you got leaders who want to be civilized and sensitive, you take advantage of them and disrespect them. Then you on the ground and they're beating you, or they not take you a chunky impact or they carry you to jail. So now you sit down, you understand why the balls are rough on you because you can be so disrespectful and disingenuous. You would have never dare go near them because your parents will cry for you. They may not kill you. They be laying down the sub beat by them. They must say, could you understand my deal? Any other balls? They just come to the private place. You running behind them dressed like this.
And that's the main
you in jail.
That's the main reason is that burn people protest.
It's not an issue. It's an issue that you guys have problem. You disrespect people all over the place. That's the issue. That's what other people voted there. Somebody being government official, the very American that are partying democracy for. You can see American government officials and the people just run behind there. You ever saw that before? Never. That's the biggest democracy on earth. But those are people who infiltrate people, very beautiful profession. You're there to damage it. You're bad representation among them. You're bad apple among the good press people. That's all you people are. I don't know why you want. You pass all around the street, somebody go to the private place, you run it behind them for interview. If the entertainment player, why go sit down drink one bottle of style, you run there and say you can't, information minister go live from China Mall because you want to show to the world that he can drink beer. What nonsense is that? People got privacy? What stupidity is that? What sense does that tell you yourself who calls yourself journalist? This is a commercial place. Anybody who comes here, either you want to do window shopping, just to know what person is so far, or you can buy something. How is that?
Mr. Supreme Chair. Press statement, next step. Press statement, next step. January 17, 2025 at this time. Members of the press and the Liberian populace, staff of the National Elections Commission have come with profound thanks to the President, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, for the bold and decisive step taken for the indefinite suspension of the chairperson, Madam David Etot Brown Lassana. The President acted within the scope of his legal authority as provided by law, because the law provides for the removal of the next chairperson for a cause. In the instant case, Madam Chairperson has provided adequate reasons for her own removal, but the President, being as generous as he is, rewarded her with an indefinite suspension in order to restore calm and stability to the Commission. This news has brought relief to the entire workforce, some of whom you see right behind me here. Especially the 25 dismissed employees. There are concerns out there, however, in the public regarding the justification of the chairperson's suspension that we believe we need to address. We'd like to provide you detailed information on events that have been unfolding at the Commission. Over the period of 5 years, the workforce has experienced nothing but an authoritarian rule at the hands of Chairperson Lassana, characterized by wanton corruption for which she was indicted by the LCC. Staff are treated with no respect, to the point where, when opinions are expressed in meetings, it is treated as an affront and subjected to internal investigation, and eventually leads to dismissal.
So true.
Yes. At the level of the board, the chairperson has taken a dominant posture, so much so that plenary sessions have been reduced into chat room discussions. In most instances, travels intended for staff of the Commission are single-handedly made by the chairperson, as this was done in time past with other boards. Upon her return, there is hardly any report made. Staff of the Commission have been transferred to different sections without the knowledge and approval of the rest of the commissioners, as the law depicts. This chairperson was head of the Budget Committee. This is in the 2023 general elections. She was head of the Budget Committee, Cash Committee, Procurement Committee. She single-handedly headed everything that had to do with cash, procurement, and the rest. To an extent where she concocted arrangements to remove monies from the Commission's account with no delivery of election materials through unique solutions. A firm with no history of delivering election materials, owned and operated by a businessman called Daniel Koluba. So we know for a fact that this same Koluba has provided a non-functional solar system to the Commission that is worth over 200,000 United States dollars. The same Koluba, as a kickback to his Fune deal, provided a complete set of solar system to the homes and businesses of both the chairperson and the executive director, Mr. Anthony Kesey.
So true.
Other commissioners were appointed to hereby elections, but the budget and cash was controlled by the chairperson and the executive director. She sidelined directors that she did not like and dealt with their deputies, completely disrespecting their offices, and an instance leading to frustration of heads of sections. The chairperson, just in this week, unilaterally merged several sections, thereby dismantling the entire organogram of the commission.
Yeah.
Over the past 3 months, the NEC has been marred in a toxic work environment and an institutional crisis, which you all are aware of. Human and work relations have been bruised and broken because of the suspended chairperson's unilateral and dictatorial management style and her flagrant disregard for the rule of law.
So.
She has over the years demonstrated her penchant for the violation of laid down procedures and statutes governing the management and operations of the commission. She did not only exhibit disrespect for her fellow commissioners, but has also disregarded them for over the last 5 years. And most recently, she has shown similar behavior to the executive. She abrogated unto herself what the law has ascribed to the 7 commissioners in violations of sections 2.10D and 2.4 of the 1986 New Elections Law. While we did not expect politicians, especially those from the opposition, to hail and clap for the president for hearing the cry of the staff of the commission by removing the burden we have been carrying for years, they should have at least been concerned about the health of our country's election house, which is the bridge between peace and anarchy in Liberia.
Yes. Oh.
It is disgusting to note that politicians, such as the likes of Musa Beledi, Akarios Gray, and others, are politicizing a matter of human rights and national security in support of a corrupt indictee. Since the inception of this unwarranted crisis, operations and regular work activities have been paralyzed for nearly 3 months. The next partners, such as the UNDP, have scaled down their operations at the NEC due to leadership failure and the unfriendly work environment. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the suspended chairperson of the NEC has the tendency and characteristics of faking remorse under pressure, but becomes extremely vindictive when pressure is relaxed or lifted. This person, who has shown herself to be a saint to most of you out in the public, is the devil's incarnate. Yes. All the years she has stayed at the commission as a commissioner, and now the chairperson, are marked by an authoritarian rule and criminal maneuvering.
Yes.
In lieu of this, we wish to appeal to the president that while the suspicion is in force, a comprehensive audit of the NEC is commissioned as soon as possible. As indicated in the 3-count resolution submitted to the office of the president on 11 November 2024, that's last year. We also want to bring to fore the manipulative mechanisms, and I will go over it again because this is very key. We also want to bring to fore the manipulative mechanisms being orchestrated against common Liberians by people in high places in close proximity of the presidency, especially one Dr. Augustine Kone.
Yes.
We also understand there is an alleged collusion between the Executive Director, Anthony K. Singbe, and the Minister of Finance, Mr. Augustine Pehe Gafua, who is a kinsman to Mr. Singbe with a long-standing relationship. Finally, now that the President has played his role by truly rescuing the neck from the hands of a tyranny, we call on the entire workforce. We call on the entire workforce of the Commission to return to full and regular work schedule beginning Monday, 20th January 2025. We also call on our partners, particularly the UNDP, to commence the process of re-engagement with the Commission in preparation for the pending by-election in Niger County and other subsequent electoral activities. Thank you. May God bless the land from the hands of wicked individuals. Save the state. Thank you.
I'm not too sure.
Say what are you go say? You see somebody in the street, you can't live there. I won't go live. I can take my own phone and go live. Something got to be wrong with you. You call yourself journalist.
Mr. Minister, can I please ask you a question?
You see how stupid it sound? You know how crazy that sound? Let me check my phone to get my web number.
I agree, sir.
I'm working with President Bouaka. His number in my phone. Somebody asked me for Bouaka number. Oh, let me check my phone to see the president number. Does it make sense?
Well, as for me, I'm not having my boss's number off head. It's in my phone. Before them.
I don't care about that. That's your life to live. That's your issue to worry. But when you come to me and you say you're working somewhere and you got your personal phone, it's more of a red flag on you. People that can be passing around lying on people. You lie on somebody's institution. And they won't call the person and say, oh, I don't have the president's phone. Of course, if I have police, you're not even cross that place. And your labyrinth, you got a problem. There wasn't coaching them when you're beating your. There wasn't coaching you want to you can't answer for you run behind. Your ditch today, who say you own Vision TV? Why they be almost down? He parked car near Jawazin Koji fence. There's a fence. So I want to imagine you see Jawazin. In fact, you're not even get a chance to even run to him because you're working with more than 10 security person. And I want your leg. You create dictators. When you got leaders who want to be civilized and sensitive, you take advantage of them and disrespect them. Then you on the ground and they're beating you. Or they not check you a chunky impact or they carry you to jail. So sometimes you sit down, you understand why the boys were rough on you because you can be so disrespectful and disingenuous. You would have never dared go near them because your parents would cry for you. They may not kill you. They'll be laying down the sub beach by now. They wasn't called you on that turn my girl, any other boys. They just come to the private place, you running behind them dressed like this.
The Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, Tuto Spoon. Yeah, Tuto Spoon. You want to get a news update, Tuto Spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari.
Okay, you want to get the news update, just tune to Spoon. You want to know what's happening in Liberia. You want to know what the policymakers are doing, what the issues are in the country, what the progress is that has been made. This is where you get everything in one full package. I'd like to say welcome. Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight on the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We're live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5, on Fabric Radio 101.1, and several other frequencies across the country. And many thanks to the partner radio stations that are always relaying the show. And we also want to appreciate our valued audience online, those of you who will come in by means of Facebook, whether on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, or Super TV, or by means of YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. We appreciate all of you tonight for being on here on this edition of the program. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. My name is Nelson Collier, and there's a whole lot happening across the country. We're going to bring you the updates and come up with the conversation tonight, bring you some analysis around those issues, and afford you the opportunity to have your say on those different concerns, those different conversations tonight. So welcome to the show. Let me go across. I see a lot of you joining us. I'm going to recognize a few of you in the comment section shortly, but let me go across and bring the team on. I see Mr. Jirau Sende is here already. Sende, welcome. It's good to have you on tonight.
Nelson, it's good to be here with you. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You know, I saw you in the background drinking your regular lamb,
Lemon.
lamb,
Yeah,
lemon.
yeah.
You know, but Cindy, this lemon is it really doing well? You know, because the more you drink the lemon, the more I see you putting up weight. Cindy,
What was the last time you saw me by?
Cindy, just from your face, I can know you putting up weight, Cindy.
No, I'm actually losing the weight. No, I lost a lot of weight. The last time I think I was in Liberia, I was like 217 pounds. I'm far
Oh
below
wow.
that now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Yeah.
know, interestingly, the whole thing about losing weight
Mhm.
is in twofold. Let me bring Moba on. Moba, it's good to have you on. It's good to know that you're joining us tonight. Thank God for speedy recovery. You haven't been well for some time. We're glad
Yeah.
that we can have you back on tonight. And most of your fans have been asking for you. They've been asking where Moba. And I get one papa who can always call. The man say, yeah, that Moba guy. I let it when he can address the issue. But I can really enjoy it when the man say gentle guys. The man say like, gentle guys.
The general got aspect about you, not forget about it. You always be there. I know.
But Mama, welcome to the show. Cindy, welcome as well. It's
Thank you.
good to
Thank
have you know, no. Lean Lakwa, don't bring that thing yet. That politics you won't bring. I'm not banishing me, our brother. No, it cannot be the case. No, but you know, when I see, maybe it's the camera too, Sandy. But sometimes when I see
the camera lying to you, man. The camera, they're fooling you. Don't mind the camera. I keep telling you.
but it's a good thing that we're here tonight, and I want to welcome everybody. No, but on a serious, I have one of my guy who said he was losing weight. So, but the guy was losing weight from his face, but the guy's stomach was still getting big. You know, the guy's stomach was still the same way, and the other guy said he was losing weight, but he was losing weight from his stomach, but his face, you know, the upper body part stayed the same. You know, I don't know how that happens, but it's a good thing that we're here tonight. And Cindy already recommended a very great recipe for, you know, everybody who want to lose.
You want to lose weight? Follow that one, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you know, the lamb, the lemon rather.
Yeah.
A little bit of honey. You say what? 3 times a day, right?
I do it twice a day.
Okay.
The first thing I drink in the morning and the last thing I drink before I go to bed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah. Is it based on doctor's advice? You know, because sometimes certain things will have side effects and all of that too. You know?
Well, it has worked for me.
Okay.
It has worked. It's been working for me. It worked for a lot of people. It was recommended by someone who it worked for, and it's been working for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mama recommended something, but I'll not see it on the radio.
Recommended
Mama has his own recipe for losing weight.
Listen, what Sandy, what you say? What I recommend? What?
Recommended beer.
Thank God you got it out of my mouth. And I asked Mama, why you teaching me that recipe?
Sandy got
Yeah, well, it's a good thing that we can get the show started. Today is weekend, actually. It's already it's Friday across the world. So here is we in Saturday already, 2 hours into Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great thing. I think we can do our opening, but just before that, let me recognize a few of our people here. I see Freeman, our dear sister. Thanks for joining us. Alfred Konowa. What Alfred said, he said, it's not only drink lamb and honey tea will make you lose weight, but what you put in the gym.
Look at somebody gonna go in the gym.
I don't want to make any comment, you know, but guys, when you look at Alfred, I gotta go for some Alfred photos. Now, I'm not talking about that camera, you know, they just, you know, upper body part you
The
see.
last time I was cooking heavy pan butter, then talking about gym.
It's talking about going to gym. But have you guys seen anyway? But Alfred, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Alfred is the first AFL person that I see that may get real stomach. But Alexander Pope, thanks for joining us.
You know the reference CEO, I swear.
Dakena, we appreciate you for coming on. Lynn Lakpo, Nuj Nuj, Obadiah Smith, OP O'Neill Johnson, Jerry Dokoli, Annie Flomo, Isaac Pad, Mario Ewell. We appreciate all of you for joining us tonight. Thanks for coming on, Eric McGill, Hippo Kazi, and everybody. My own big brother, Jace Tasso Robert, and everybody. We appreciate you for joining us tonight. You know, guys, we're about to start the show. We'll do the updates, but have you wondered how Alfred, our own brother, the man was in the military. Alfred was an AFL personnel before he left the country. You know, but I'm aware that every morning the people will do their routine, you know, and all of that. But I don't know if that really had an impact on Alfred. We used to see most of the military people I see, they have 6-pack and all of that. But Alfred, no. You know, Alfred didn't succeed in that. He tried, but he didn't make it. But let's do our opening. What's on your mind? Let's start with you, Cindy. What is it you want to talk about just before we kickstart the show? There's a whole lot happening. I think we just played a video where you're seeing the NEC workers. We had this conversation about NEC last evening. Mm-hmm. The NEC workers are appreciating the president for the action he took by suspending the head of the institution, and they went on to list several things that you know the head of the institution did, the chairperson of the National Elections Commission did while serving there. They're accusing, these are just allegations until it can be proven otherwise, but they're accusing her of playing multiple roles, you know, in the institution, from being the chairperson to being the procurement officer to being the chief finance officer and all those different. But you know, and that's why the investigation is really important, because how is it possible for this to happen? They're also talking about the chairperson unilaterally giving contracts out to people and all of that. You know, so there's a whole lot that's been going on there, and they've been appreciating the president for the decision taking, and that's where we are with that. And then on the flip side, the country have seen some top present and past officials of government trooping to Nima County to celebrate the homegoing of Senator Prince Johnson. And we understand President Joshua and other officials of government are making their way there. President Boakai will be there as well. And all of those officials of government, we're seeing national leaders converging in Nima County to see the homegoing of Senator Prince Yelugbe Johnson. And a whole lot happening across the country as well. The presidential press secretary had a weekly press briefing today, and there were some very, very important issues mentioned there. We're going to go into that a little as well, but I want us to do our opening first, and then we're going to move on with the rest of the show tonight. Most of you must have seen the video, not video, but photos of the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police has been making rounds. He went on a trip out of town, and in the process came across one of the regular checkpoints that has been mounted. That is supposed to be a place where people would check what's coming in and what's going out and all of those things thoroughly for security purposes. But when he engaged the guys, he saw that they had plastic bags. You know, before now, most drivers have complained about how they're being harassed, at those various checkpoints. They say, whether you like it or not, you agree or you don't agree. Once you get to that checkpoint, you got to put your $100, at least $100, nothing less than $100 in that plastic. So the IG today, on his way out, this photo like you see here, when he engaged the guys, notice that they have plastic bag. You open the plastic and you could see different notes. The green note, the pink notes, 50, 100, 20 Liberian dollars, all there in the plastic bag. And those officers of the Liberian National Police have been forwarded to the Professional Standard Division. They are the Liberian National Police. And according to him, it was very concerning that some of those highway patrol officers are bothering drivers and taking bribes. And he did this to send a clear message. He said that was a clear sign of some key issues that he thinks needs to be tackled in the Liberian National Police if there should be a high standards or high level of professionalism at the level of the Liberian National Police. So the IG, took the guys, the plastic bag and all of that, and turned it over to Professional Standard Division, and investigation is going to continue from there. So those are just a few of the many happenings. We can go ahead now and just do our opening now. And one of those things that I've really circulated today as well has been the traditional rituals that was carried out today in Nimba County. There's been a lot of folks talking about that with the Representative Samuel Koga. There's been conversations around that. Given what was seen today on the camera, it sends a message that Representative Samuel Koga might just be in that prophecy to take over, the mantle as godfather of Nimba County. So, despite this conversation being a corridor for some time, the whole discussion about who becomes the godfather of Nimba County is something that has been reawakened by what we saw on the social media today with Honorable Samuel Koga and the rest of and the folks there performing the traditional ceremony ahead of the final burial or the final funeral service of Senator Prince Johnson. And the information minister, we played just a portion of that video, had gone to one of the shopping malls in the country to, do purchase or whatever. And in the process, a guy believed to be a journalist put the camera on the live, put a caption, everything. And as soon as he saw him, he ran to him with a camera. And the information minister got very angry that he was in a private, not private space, but in a commercial area. And that space wasn't the best place for him to have been engaged by a journalist like that, especially without any prior engagement, putting on a camera and just moving to the information minister that, trying to interview him. So he felt offended And he went very strong on the journalists. He said, in fact, we can understand why, some people were very hard on some of you guys, because had it been the previous administration, Jefferson Koji or Nathaniel McGill, all of those people, you would not have done what you did. You abused our flexibility, and look at what you've done, asking for the name of let's say the number of the person whose platform he said he was doing the broadcast on. He said he doesn't have the person's number, and so there was this, heated engagement, and that has been going across, and that there has been different reactions to that as well, with others thinking that the information minister was being too hard on this young man, while others thought that it was just the right approach because it was unprofessional for him to have engaged the information minister the way he did. So there has been a whole lot across, but I'd like us to just do our opening, and then we're going to go into the conversation tonight. Sandy, you want to go?
Well, Nelson, there seems to be a lot going on in the country, and I will want us to just jump into the discussion. I look forward to engaging with all of you tonight. Hopefully we can have more folks on. So, if we can even do, bring some new folks on tonight to just engage everyone.
Oh, today is Friday, right? Oh, yeah. I think we did that last Friday.
Yeah, so I don't have much, on my mind, except Liberia is always on my mind, and I look forward to the discussions tonight.
Thanks a lot, Cindy. You want to go ahead, Moba? Let's hear you.
Yeah. For long, I think almost 2.5 weeks. But thank God I'm back. I appreciate the call, and also and some of the guys who text me. But look, there's a lot going on. I've been out for a while, but I think I've been following every event in the country, more especially when it comes to the political side. Something catch my attention. Let me just hit on it briefly, and then we'll just move on with the show. I want to make a clarity. If anything happened, for example, maybe like what happened to the Capitol building, everybody got different way of interpreting what happened. Everybody got different way of seeing what happened. But everybody is a suspect. The police, the lawmakers, people who make regular statements, even the people who are mining that identical area, that identical, all of them, they are being a prime suspect. So if the police doing that investigation, and they probably they come up with cell phone communication during that event, they get every right to arrest and then to bring people for questioning. But this time around in our country, everything people politicize it. Even when people discussing the main issue, they will leave it. They will say, "Oh, politics." So politics have made Liberia now. People can investigate, and people can go to due process. People can go to investigation, forensic, all those stuff and things. Because when people try to bring this thing in politics, in investigation, people will still politicize it. People will say what they know. At the end of the day, Liberia will keep going down because we prioritize politics more than the right thing to be done. People will just come out some money, they say what they want to say, to go. When people will take action, they say, "Oh man, freedom of speech, you can say anything you want to say. You can do what you want." But at the end of the day, you put in your own country out there, you think that then you're looking for help to come in to help to bring companies, to job creation, all the one. But you the Liberians, you out there setting your country, things were not happening. You're saying it because it's not you, and it is wrong. Everybody is a suspect, and in that suspect, you can do an investigation through cell phone call, right? Through text messages, doing the incident, and I believe that while the police going by, and people, they don't even know how investigation work. They just say what they want to say, but everybody get entitled to that view. But your view should be something based on reality. You should just come and say something, and the day Liberian, but that's why I want to start until we get in the conversation, and and then we can see how best we can move on. What next thing?
Yeah, you're right, and it's very important to take a keen note of this every single step along the way. But let me open it up like we did last week to get a very few of our folks who join the show every time. Let's afford them the opportunity. We can get just a few of them to come on tonight, and then as we move on with the discussion, I want to see if I can get the link in the comment section so that our folks can have the opportunity to join us tonight. And hopefully we can do this every Friday and just open it up for some of our folks to join us. Yes. So the link is in the comment section. You can join the show tonight, and let's have a great conversation. We're going to take like 3 persons from the audience as we get the show started. Now, but a whole lot going on all at the same time, and it's very important for this to. Sorry, I want to get something. Okay, so Montserrado County Senator Saad Joseph have been raising a certain concern. Now, I want us to go back a little. In the heat of the frequency of fire outbreaks across the country, Liberians, not just in Liberia, but even the diaspora, were very concerned and then started to push for much more to be done to equip the Liberian National Fire Service. At some point, the conversation was around making sure that those people can get the equipment, they can get the trucks, they can get everything that is required to see to it that the Liberian National Fire Service is on top of a game. Now, in the midst of everything, all the efforts that were being made, we didn't get to see that much on the part of the Liberian National Fire Service in terms of what they were delivered as per the expectation of the Liberian people. So, but the major issue raised by the institution was that they were not equipped. And so, at the level of the legislature, Senator Saad Joseph, being one of those who was victimized by the same fire situation, his entire home got burned, pushed along with his colleagues, he lobbied with his colleagues to have some 2 million worth of firefighting equipment, 2 million approved for the Liberian National Fire Service. In fact, it was a total of 3 million for the Liberian National Fire Service to enable the institution get all this equipment. And it was being approved. It was being approved to have the 2 million given to the institution, or to use the 2 million to procure the equipment so as to ensure that the Liberian National Fire Service is functional, is on top of a game. Now, that budget year has come to an end. And as we speak, even with the recast and everything that was done, the Liberian National Fire Service up to now is yet to get said amount. And so the concern now has been, and this is where the likes of Senator Saad Joseph, especially being one of those persons who pushed this issue at the level of the Liberian Senate, he's now questioning the government. He's now criticizing the government for failing to provide 2 out of 3 million that was lobbied for the fire trucks. And his issue at this point is that the fact that the government failed to make available this money to some extent indicates the government's unwillingness to address this issue of the frequency of fire outbreaks, because he thinks that in the absence of getting the fire trucks, now we hosted the hell of the institution here some time ago. I think that was about a month or so, and we're going to bring him on at some point again. But when we hosted him, he stated that at the time we had 3 functional engines in the country. The Liberia National Fire Service had 3 trucks. Now, the last time we checked, that institution could not attend to the different outbreaks that have been happening recently, because they say of the 3 engines, they have 2 down and there's just 1 functional fire truck at the level of the Liberia National Fire Service. And Senator Joseph is saying that this act is deliberate, is unfortunate, and he's now criticizing the government for not making the $2 million available for the Liberia National Fire Service to get the fire trucks. But is it fair to say, guys, that government has competing priorities? Is it fair to say that government cannot address all of those issues all at the same time, just in a single budget year? Is it fair to say that the government is trying? The fact that the government was able to get to make available 1 out of 3 million, that we should give the government time. That as time goes by, the government will be able to make the remaining amount available to get the issue of fire outbreaks addressed in the country. Now, I want us to start a conversation from here. The issue that the senator is raising. Let's start with you, Moba, and then we're going to go around the table. And I see some of the folks saying that the link is now... No, this is the link for the show. If you're using an Android device, copy the link, paste it in your Chrome browser, put your information in your name and all of that, and you're going to log on to the show. If you're using an Apple device, just copy the link, paste it in your Safari browser, and you're going to come on the show. All right. So yes, just try to follow the steps. But go ahead, Moba. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, for the fire incident, right? We all understand how dangerous it is. Like for the past, let's just say last year, it's been happening frequently. Like houses been burning, Capitol building, and other stuff. And this budget I just passed, and I'm just disappointed sometimes. Hearing people talking that according to what you said they are not taking it like a priority, and they're forgetting to know that fire incident is not 200,000 can fight it. It's not even $1 million can fight it. And for them to put $3 million in the budget and then even get quarter of that money, it is disgusting. It is, it is wrong. But when you
Moba, they put $3 million, they were able to make $1 million available. So it's past quarter. It's like
okay, $1 million available in nursing, but
yeah,
that nursing that's still cannot. 1 million, you say 2 million, they say 3 million, then you afford 1 million. Nelson, we shouldn't joke with the Liberian people. I think for me, for this identical budget I passed, I'll get, I will blame lawmakers, mostly because they're only there for their interests. All the lawmakers putting something there for themselves, but they're forgetting to know Liberia, a lot of stuff is going on that people need help. The fire sector, the health sector, much today I saw some pictures, the education minister trying to put armchairs, new brand armchair, Vera, government school. That's okay, but we need more. When we see good things, we say it. But for the fire department nursing, I think the government school is 0, and they knew that. Look at the last year up to this year, right? A lot of fire incident, and there was no way, right? You get 1 truck in the whole of Liberia, right? Imagine Banga, you get Nima, you get all the places, but you only get 1 truck. Then you get 1 million for a whole country of fire service.
It's fair to say that the fire service has 3 engines, 3 trucks, but that one functioning now. So we get one, we get
Nothing. Nothing is, as long as it's not working, we can't count it. So today, that's not serious. As long as it's not working, we can't count it.
can you say it's not working? We can't count it.
We
Mother,
can. It's
you
not
have
working
three
now.
trucks,
It's
you
not
have
in
three
good
trucks,
condition.
two of
Okay.
the trucks need maintenance.
Okay, Nelson, let me ask you, right? If
Mhm.
today, God forbid, you get about 4 horses.
Don't tell me about golfer pay. I don't listen to any
But
golfer
I'm just
history here with
4
me.
horses burning at the
Don't-
same time. Listen now, at the same
Mhm.
time, and you only get one engine working. Where you think the engine will go? The balance 3 horses will burn. Even the one engine they get, they can't even, it's not even on a good condition. People horses burning. Then we'll come back and play kakaleka with the people life. That's wrong, Nelson. So for me, I think the government score
But
20 when it comes to
now,
the fire department.
let's do this. Senator Joseph is a CDC lawmaker. You know, yes, we know everything that's happening with the CDC. He and Representative Thomas Farah, having that shaking relationship with the CDC. But Senator Joseph is a CDC lawmaker, and he's raising this issue at the time, at this particular time. I mean, is there any reason why we should disassociate the politics from what he's pushing at this point?
No, to be frank, Joseph saying the right thing, Nelson. He's saying the right thing because he understands the disaster what fire brings. We shouldn't come here and sugarcoat it. You pass 880.7 million, right? And then in that budget, what there for fire service? You say 1 million, right? You say 1 million there for fire service. So let's go back to the legislature. How many money the legislature, the lawmaker, order money? How many millions of dollars was there for each one of them? Let's do the math. Then we'll come here and play. The whole country fire service get 1 million. Then you think Sir Joseph will not talk? Sir Joseph will talk because Sir Joseph did the calculation. He understands Maserado alone. Maserado not big. You can even get 4. The last time we came here, we separated the thing. We explained to the government solution, right? You can make substation. They got mini buses. You can make it out of tank and put water to the mini area and tank. They got motorbike that now get tank behind it. $1,000 for it. You can take about 4 or 5 that thing, open substation, and help the Liberian people to call a fire. Then we'll come here every day. We'll discuss about fire. Sir Joseph, right? You can put 3 million, boys might get 1 million. What will do? Look at the cost. Look at the cost. And now we don't even have disaster management in the country. Because I would say that I don't know if the other ministry working.
Thanks a lot, Baba. Let me
conclude. The reason I said disaster management because people houses burning, right? All the things are happening. What the government doing to help? What the government doing?
Thanks a lot. And this is very important. Let's hear from you on this, Cindy. The immediately when this thing was captured in the budget, immediately when it was captured, the next thing that happened was that there were companies that were engaged to be able to supply the equipment. Now, this was not just about fire truck, but it was also about firefighting equipment. Now, you take, for example, when the incident occurred at Capitol Building, you could see the firefighters running down, helpless. Some of them were badly wounded. They had to be exchanging firefighting gears and all of those things. Those were all issues that were captured. And some of those companies that were reached out to even supply this equipment have failed to supply because they're saying that if the government of Liberia have failed to live up to her part of the agreement.
Well, Nelson, let me start off here by saying on this issue of Senator Joseph flagging that his appeal for the additional 2 million has fallen into deaf ears. Look, that's his action is not proactive. His action is retroactive, and we can tell, we know why he's speaking in this manner and form, because his house was burned down. So we know that this is something that he directly experienced. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing that he's speaking out, but I'm not here to give him credit for speaking out after he encountered fire at his residence that burned down his house. Did Sir Joseph speak prior to Did he speak on this issue prior to his house burning down, right, due to fire? Did he speak out before his property was destroyed, before he almost lost his life? We were here last year. We saw what happened. Prior to that, was he speaking like this on this issue of fire trucks and trying to supply the fire service department with the necessary equipment that they need to fight fire in the country? Let's come back to the government, Nelson. We talk about priorities and priorities and priorities a lot. Look, it seems like our priority in the country is to pay salaries. That's really the priority. We generate what we can generate, and we take most of that and pay heavy salaries, right? Is it a priority that each lawmaker ride $45,000 vehicle? Is that a priority? Is that a priority over fire service department? But when you make that a priority over fire service department, then it tells you that you are not a serious government. That you're not even a serious country. So when we come here and say Liberia is not a serious country, these are some of the things we're talking about. Let's define priority. What is priority, Nelson? Something that we say supply this department to save your country, to save lives, to save properties from being damaged. Then you say no. I'd rather give this guy $45,000 vehicle each. 75 of them? How many of them? That's 75 altogether? 73 of them. Do the math. $45,000 times 73. You will know whether some of that money could have been saved for the fire service department. Now you put $3 million in the budget. You give them $1 million. $1 million, Nelson, is mostly going to salaries. $1 million for that department is mostly going to salary. That $3 million in the budget was not just for equipment or trucks. The $3 million, some will go to salaries and some will go to the equipment and so forth. So by giving them just $1 million, all you have done is pay salaries. Will we continue to pay salaries and forget about building our country? Will we continue to just give people excessive money and forget about supplying the necessary resources we need to uplift Liberia?
Well, it's like we lost Cindy. But this is very important. I see some
the American citizens show up. I'll be back.
So it's like some of the folks are trying to join us. I see some of you in the back end, but please, Jeremy, you have to set your camera right. We want to see your face. You have to set your camera right, and once I can see that you're all set, then we can bring you on. And Mark, and I see a lot. Some of you are trying to join in as well, but just make sure your camera is set right. Once I see you're ready, and I notice that all is set from the end, I'm gonna bring you on. But let's hear a take on this issue. Let me welcome George to the show. George is enjoying Liberia, but the man has all the worst things to say about Liberia. George is enjoying the Unity Party administration, the JMB JKK administration, with a very smart background, like you guys are seeing on the show. But George, I want to welcome you. It's good to have you on tonight.
Yes, the mega contract and all.
So
without the man getting a contract.
So, I met George yesterday. The man told me yesterday.
Look, man, look. You were giving me time, or you are taking off my time. You were giving me time.
Rudolph, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. So I am going to start off from where Sandy stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do appreciate the call into action from the honorable senator, but just like Cindy said, should we always wait for bad things to happen to one of those people before they can understand what the Liberian people are going through on a daily basis? Should we wait for us to see fire on their houses or fire on their office before they can know that the issue of fire is real, so that they can allocate money into the budget for that? Do we always have to wait for that? Nelson, from the onset of this whole fire service conversation, I have pointed out that the department is under supported. Nelson, and I always point back at the fact that up to now, in this day and age, our National Fire Service does not even have a website. But again, you cannot beat on, I mean, you cannot say that out loud because even our national legislature doesn't have a functional website. So these guys, I mean, they are only focused on going in there and getting what they can get to go home and and sponsor their lifestyle, sponsor their families and their kids in schools abroad. That is where our country problem lies. You know, people always come on and just blast at the president. I understand the president is the person in charge of the country, but our problem is not within the executive, Nelson. Our problem lies in the legislature. Like, why will you know that you have only one functional truck in the whole country, and then the other two that you got broken down? You like there is no. I mean, you are not even thinking there is no urgency to have those things running, or even trying to purchase more. Nothing. But now we should have fire truck in each city in Monrovia. For example, Cinco should have at least one fire service, or let's say in each district. So the 17 districts in Monrovia County should have one fire truck each, and then we can start to go into the other counties. It was just, I think it was just last year October when Nima County had their first fire truck, and guess what? It was not even purchased by the government. It was given to the county as a gift from a private businessman. Where are we heading? Is it because we don't, I mean, is it our leaders are not thinking? Is it that they are not far-sighted? Or is it like they know the problem and they are thinking, but they just don't care? I'm going to start here.
Is it fair to say that the government has competing priorities, and sometimes it gets too over, it gets too, it gets to that point where government cannot address everything in a single budget year. Government cannot address everything just at once. That government will have to take her time gradually to address the issues. It's not going to be like switching the lights on.
Nelson, the foremost priority of a government, it is to improve the livelihood of its people. And you have to understand, you have people dying from fire stuff every day. You have people losing their homes every day from fire. What is more urgent than that? What is more competing than that? But yet and still, in 3 years' time, this government spent $3,285,000 just to purchase vehicles for representatives.
Now that's in the period of 3 years. That's in the period of 3 years.
Yeah, but that's what I am saying. In 3 years, so in 6 years, that number doubles. And it's just for the lower house. We're not even going up to the upper house. So if you are adding those things together, Nelson, we spend too much money on serious things. When we have the serious things that benefit the lives of the people left undone. This is sad, Nelson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me hold you there. Let's see if Jeremy has his camera all set. Jeremy, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Can you hear me?
Yes, you got me?
Okay, I can hear you. So next thing is you have to maybe just position your camera well. I see maybe you holding it or something so that we don't experience the shaking and stuff like that, just to have some level of stabilization in your the feel coming from you. But Josh, welcome to the show. You have been in a country and stuff like that. I don't want to go into all that.
Nelson, just to wrap up, please. I didn't
you wrap up already?
No, I mean, Nelson, when George was in Liberia during the last regime, George wasn't shining like this in our country. I mean, you can see the difference. Look at his face. The brother is shining. And this is a testament of how good.
But you know when the man went last year, cutting all right. The man now used to walk about. The man used to be scared. But this time, the man can take the whole country in here.
Yeah, but guys, let's give George the time. You know, I think George and I spoke off air not too long. And to tell you that George is experiencing freedom, George came from just somewhere, you know. I will not call the place name, but George is more like enjoying the country. But just go ahead. Your take on the
Nelson, was it George that brought a girl for you from Australia?
I don't know where you're coming from. Look, guys, you guys have to stop this thing. You know, we're discussing national issue here, guys.
Look, Nelson. Yeah, Nelson, let me just jump in there. I know these guys, they want to dilute the whole conversation, but it's not going to happen. First of all, I want to thank the resilience of the Liberian people. Let me tell you, Bouaka is doing nothing, but the resilience of the Liberian people is seeing through everything. Let me tell you, look, I've been here for almost a month now, and I can see that, look, whatever opportunity that Liberian people have is to make sure that they have fun and enjoy themselves. Regardless of what is going on around them, they continue to persevere. And look, nothing is here, including Nelson that is speaking, nothing is here that is influenced by government. Let me tell you, if they say rate going down is because of government, they are lying to you. The rate went down because the Lebanese people knew that during the December month, Liberian people send a lot of money from overseas, and they want to get that money cheap so they carry the rate down, and then get the money cheap, and then as soon as that
is that your own economic theory?
Hey, Josh, what we're going to do is we'll end the show by asking you for your experience in the country, and we'll make comparative analysis around, you know, the different factors, the different issues before now and all of that. But let's hear your take on the issue that Senator Joseph is raising at this point. 3 million should have gone to fire service, but they got just 1 million, and that money should have gone towards. And I think you've been following the show. Let's hear your take from there.
Yeah, look, Nelson, it's pathetic that we'll sit here. And I listen to my brother Rudolph, and look, you know, sometimes I want to cry, Nelson. And this is coming from my heart. I want to cry when I see my friends here. These guys are not friends anymore, they're brothers. Because we've been on the show for more than a year. And I love these guys, but sometimes the thing that comes from their mouth, I want to choke them. And Nelson Rudolph did just that. One of the things that are going to induce me to want to just strangle this guy. And he's saying that don't blame the president, blame the representative, and this and that. No, this is pathetic, Nelson.
On this platform?
No, Josh.
I don't know whether that word is graphic. I don't know whether that word is graphic.
It's graphic. I want to say that. As a way of, you know.
I'll remove that. I just, you know, my brother, the way he spoke, man, look, Nelson, let me tell you, one of the shows you had here, I was in my room. I never had a good internet. I wanted to log in. I tried everything I could. I'm in a hotel now. And this hotel is just next to Calabash. So you might hear some of the music about him in the back. But Nelson, my brother here, Rudolph, I almost shed tears from what he said. And he's trying to remove the responsibility of this governance that we are living in to the legislature. Nelson, the president has the responsibility of rejecting any budget that comes from the guys that say we remove the $3 billion that are supposed to go to fire service. He can say, no, I'm not going to veto that budget. That's the presidency, Nelson. Look, guys, it's pathetic. Let's stop doing this thing. Let's stop trying to remove the responsibility of certain people only because we want to prove a political point. It's ridiculous. And my brother Rudolph is very, I don't want to say experienced, but he's very educated. And I expect him to make decisions on the show that will educate the young ones that are coming. He's a little brother from me, you know, maybe 10 along the line. Maybe I'm more than a decade older than this guy. He's a kid, but he's very educated.
Get the point.
He's very educated. And I expect him to always come on here to create scenarios that will educate our people. But he's not doing that. And it's sad for me tonight, Nelson. This president has the agenda of this government. For the next 6 years, this president has the agenda.
I want us to face it this way. We have 3 separate but equal branches of government.
but they have coordination.
Yeah, the legislature.
Coordination. I have been a coordinator before.
Maybe that coordination is a bit different from the other coordination we're talking about.
No, it is the same. Coordination is always coordination. There's nothing different.
In all of that, it was the legislature, through the advocacy of the legislature, Senator Sajo said, that captured the $3 million for the fire service to enable the institution to buy equipment. Houses were burning down. Being someone who experienced the situation himself, they pushed for that. Now, we are at a point where he's coming back to say he's disappointed that the government deliberately did not address this issue. That even some of the companies that should have, that were contracted to supply the equipment, they cannot bring the equipment to the country because the government failed to make the money available. Josh, is there any reason why this should fall at the feet of the president?
Definitely.
Is there any reason why President Bouaka should be dragged into why the Liberian National Fire Service is not getting the $3 million or $2 million that she needs to get equipment to start fighting fire across the country and the fire? Is there any reason why the president should be dragged into this?
Yes, Nelson. Here's why. The reason why the president has to be responsible for everything that happens to this government is because he's the chief executive officer of this government. Let me tell you, he employed Double Jala. Double Jala said they exceeded their forecast of what they were going to get for the budget year. Instead of 600 million, they went up to 700. Nelson, there's no reason why these people cannot allocate that money, that $3 million to fire service. But because the president has another priority to fly a private jet, or to do some other things that he wants to do that are very dear to his heart,
Nelson,
he decided to use that money in that place. There's no way, Nelson, there's no way when this government tells us that they have exceeded the budget expectation, that means the money they're supposed to get, what they collected for, we are selling continuum. I just brought continuous in the country, I spent more than $12,000, Nelson, to this government. But I know that money went to some private jet company that is going to use to go and visit a friend to see a friend. Can you imagine our president is using private jet to go and visit a friend for a friend's daughter birthday a wedding? Nelson is pathetic. But Nelson,
thank you.
We try to massage the conversation.
We're going to come back to you. We're going to come back to you. We're going to come back to you.
Real quick, clarity, please.
I don't think we should be doing clarity now.
Yeah.
No, it's about the budget. No, because George,
don't give clarity to this guy.
George just put out a misleading statement about the budget, and I think we need to clarify that before people run with his statement. The government.
Nelson, I don't think this guy should.
Nelson,
let's
clarify.
Quick, 10 seconds, please.
Nelson,
quick.
What I'm talking.
Oh, you see, he knows that what he just said is not
true. Go ahead,
He doesn't want me to say anything.
Go ahead,
so here is it. When Double Jala said that he went above what he expected, it was not the entire budget. It was revenue collection. So the plan was to collect 690 million. He went a little above that, but that does not mean that we went over our entire budget for the year. That is misleading.
Okay, thank you. I want us to stop there and transition a bit. I see.
Nelson, can I provide clarity?
Jeremy is trying to come on. Yeah, go ahead, Josh, quickly.
Nelson, usually when I come on here, we want to speak like very educated people, and I know my brother Rudolph is very educated. But to say a segment of the budget is over, let's say you say I'm going to cook soup, palm butter, because palm butter is my favorite. And that's what I've been eating since I came. So the thing is, they say I'm going to cook palm butter. Then you say the fish at $10, the chicken soup that maybe that at $2. Then you say I see them my budget. I also spend $20 for the soup. Well, I see on budget I made 25, but then you say the money short for the chicken soup. What sense does it make? Because the revenue authority, the planning is done with the coordination of the
Here is what you are missing, my friend.
authority. No,
Here is
listen.
what you are
Let
missing.
me finish.
The
Can
budget
you mute this
comes
guy? Let me get
into-
finished.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish, please. So the whole thing is that the way budgets are made is that they say, okay, how much we'll collect this year? The revenue say, okay, we'll collect 600 million. Then they say, okay, we expect 300 million from external sources. That means we expect it from the donor organization or from America or from the EU. So altogether, we get maybe $10 million. Let's just say that, right? So if you collect, you want to tell me that the donor organization or our partners, they did not provide their share of the budget that they proposed?
That is your question. Do you think it was provided?
It did not. It did not. We did not hear any report that they did not provide.
We have transition.
We're not making any logic, and this is sad for our country.
We have to transition. I want to say thanks. I want to say thanks a lot for your input on this conversation. Let's see if we can bring Jeremy on. Jeremy, welcome to the show. Can you hear me?
Yes, I get you. You getting me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You want to shift? Just get the camera. We want to see you a little more. The space up. Okay, I think something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Let's hear you. You've been following the conversation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, let me say thank you to the entire family because you see, my brother, we are from Africa, more especially Liberia. We hate our own team. We love the outsider than our own area. Since I've been in Liberia, I start working to that Capitol building through all before God would bless me to come in the US. With all the crashes, one day that place don't get burned. What happened at the Capitol building, my brother, we all need to put seriousness inside.
But Jeremy, we've not gone to the Capitol building thing yet. We're still on the fire service. The call from Senator Joe said for the monies that should have equipped the institution and why the money hasn't come. He's expressing frustration over that and all of that.
Yeah, from the Genesis, my brother, what I say, we don't like our own thing, my brother. You see, most of our people in Africa, more especially Liberia, some of the guys, my brother, sorry to say, they were gapping. Let me say it the Liberian way. God will have it, our people elect some of them, they try to turn their back on their own people. My brother, nobody will build our country, only our very self. If you know something is wrong, if somebody raise it, all of you need to handle it. But when they ready say, hey, the great United States, you think that match the people play? They're not match it. They love their country. Why you think we can apply the same method in our country? But when you tell people, hey, they made order for another party,
now, what is happening now? Do you think it's a lack of law for country? You think that's why?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Don't you think the government has a lot of issues to address all at the same time? For which, this 3 million that was meant for procuring the equipment didn't happen under the previous budget yet.
My brother, what I say, lack of your country, you don't love your country. These are some of the factors. Most of our people in authority now, they just prefer themselves. They don't want to know about their own country, neither outside of. So they just want to enrich themselves. These are some of the factors. Well, common sense. You don't even have to go to school. Just sit down and think. That's just common sense. So if you don't like your own team, who will like it, my brother? You have to like your own team. God know the reason why you're from Liberia. Yeah. You don't have to come from the Western country before you embrace your own team.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let me hold you there. And I think we have to transition a bit. Last evening, we had this conversation about the NEC, the recent decision from the president. And we made some analysis around this. Today, we're seeing this where the workers, the staffers there, are appreciating the president. And I wanted to state some of the things that led to their actions that have resulted to the president taking the action he took. Now, I want to play just a few seconds of their engagement today.
Yeah. Oh.
It is disgusting to note that politicians such as the likes of Musa Belidi, Akarius Gray, and others are politicizing a matter of human rights and national security in support of a corrupt indictee.
Now, remember, a lot of you guys remember the last evening. We also talk about what the Rule of Law Caucus pull up. Now, long story short, there is a protest at the institution. The folks are complaining about the chairperson of the National Elections Commission trying to usurp the function of other commissioners or other departments and stuff like that. They decided to stage a protest. It stands to a point where no more activity is at a standstill. She goes on to dismiss about 25 employees of the institution. It gets to the point where the president intervenes. The president, Boubacar, says, look, this happening right before us here is a violation of the election law of the country. And because of that, the chairperson of the National Elections Commission, you'll be suspended for time indefinite while investigation goes on. Now, the Rule of Law Caucus, following the statement from the E-Mansion, said that the action taken by the executive mansion or the president is, a form of interference, because they think that it should rather be the legislature. Anything with that issue, it should be out of the legislature because it's a tiny position. The president should not be getting involved with the National Elections Commission. Now, they also went on to say that this is happening because of the pending Nima County election, and the Unity Party want to secure a seat and all of that. The workers' union today are taking a serious back on what came from the caucus. And I want to play again, just in a few seconds, a portion of their response.
Yeah. Oh.
It is disgusting to note that politicians such as the likes of Musa Belidi, Akarius Gray, and others are politicizing a matter of human rights and national security in support of a corrupt indictee.
This is what the guys are saying.
Of the commission. Yeah. Over the past 3 months, the NEC has been marred in a toxic work environment and an institutional crisis, which you all are aware of. Human and work relations have been bruised and broken because of the suspended chairperson's unilateral and dictatorial management style and her flagrant disregard for the rule of law. She has over the years demonstrated her penchant for the violation of laid down procedures and statutes governing the management and operations of the commission. She did not only exhibit disrespect for her fellow commissioners, but has also disregarded them for over the last 5 years. And most recently, she has shown similar behavior to the executive. She abrogated unto herself what the law has ascribed to the 7 commissioners in violations of sections 2.10D and 2.4 of the 1986 New Elections Law. While we did not expect politicians, especially those from the opposition, to hail and clap for the president for hearing the cry of the staff of the commission by removing the burden we have been carrying for years, they should have at least been concerned about the health of our country's election hubs, which is the bridge between peace and anarchy.
Okay, so I want to hold it here and let's go into analysis on this particular video a bit. Now, the workers are accusing some politicians of wanting to politicize this thing. But is there any way we can disassociate the politics with everything that's happening here? I mean, I want us to start the conversation from here. Let's start with you, Cindy, and then we're going to go to Morba next.
Well, Nelson, to your question, National Election Commission is a political institution. I mean, while it is true that there should be no partisan, let us not forget that it runs the political affairs of the country, it runs the elections of the country. And therefore, we have some political attachment. Now, people will certainly have some feelings about actions being taken by the executive. So in this case, we see that opposition lawmakers are accusing the president of breaching some protocol, and the protocol being described by Representative Musa Belete and his team is that the president should have consulted the legislators before suspending the National Election Commissioner. So you cannot entirely remove politics here. Now, people can now also speculate that, okay, by-election is coming up in Nimba County, and the president have a side. Certainly, he want his candidate to win the election, so maybe he's playing some game here to bring in somebody else, or perhaps to even delay the process. Because if you have a suspended election commissioner, or maybe by put somebody in the place of that commissioner. But I said that yesterday, Nelson, that given the track record of that institution in recent history, or in recent time, I have no fear of any wrecking of our elections. They haven't shown any of that. They have done their work in recent time very fairly, in my opinion, given the recent election that brought President Bouakai to power. A certain president was defeated. Several by-elections have been held. We have not had any situation where people, major cheating have taken place. So I have no reason to accuse this commissioner of that. But I do agree with the president's action. Let there be an investigation to look into what happened at the National Election Commission. No one person should just terminate employment of several workers at any given institution, right? So she's being accused of something by the workers there, and now she terminated their employment or suspended them.
No, dismissed. 25
dismissed them while they have grievances against her.
But Sandy, sorry to interrupt you, but I want us to go back a little. You remember the situation with the MCC? Remember the situation with those guys who went on social media and were accused of insulting the president, and they were being they were being dismissed from the MCC. You remember that? Now, one of the grounds or justifications for the dismissal was the code of conduct for every employee. That as an employee of an institution, there are do's and there are don'ts. There are things you do and there are things that you're not supposed to do. All right. So the next chairperson in this case, yes, granted, she doesn't have the power to unilaterally dismiss folks there, but she, on the other end, had accused those folks of going beyond their limit by shutting down the building, putting a halt to normal working activities. Those are things she thought was not in line with what, a decent, work practice should be in a professional setting. And at one point in her engagement with the media, she said, if those people have grievances, there are channels they should follow, but they should not be protesting, putting placards all outside the building, locking buildings, and preventing people from coming to do their work. Cindy, I mean, just trying to compare the two. Are we comparing apples and oranges, or are we comparing oranges to oranges?
So what you're trying to point out is what I will consider, or what I will call bias analysis, right? So you are pointing out 2 or 3 different situations. In the couple first situations, with the MCC thing, there was no dismissal of the head who dismissed or suspension of the head who dismissed the employers at that institution. So now, it may be seen as the president is being biased in this case. So based on your explanation here, that's bias.
No. I'm asking a question. I brought in a narrative to ask a question because this is something that I've heard other people. This is a position that others have taken.
I interpreted what you brought to us. So let you brought the situation. I interpreted the situation. So let's move on. So look, I will still insist that let there be investigation. Let there be investigation. Let us know exactly what happened at that institution. I agree with those that were protesting or speaking from the video, Nelson. That institution is very important. That institution decides leadership of our country. It runs the election, the electoral process of our nation. Is an important institution. Also, to Musa Berete and his team, I presented the constitution yesterday that says that if the election commissioner should be removed, the legislator should be consulted, should be in consultation with the legislator. But in this case, it's suspension, it's not removal. So I do not know if the president necessarily have to consult them in order to suspend. So there are two different cases. Removal and suspensions are different. So if the president do not have to consult them before suspension, then Musa Berete have no case. Despite what has happened, let there be an investigation. Let's know exactly what is happening at the National Election Commission.
Well, thanks a lot, Sandy. We want to take you, Mobile, then we're going to take Josh, and Rudolph will be next.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, I think every institution need leader who will sit with their group or whosoever and talk to them whenever there are disputes. But I think the election commissioner, like Madam Lansana Brown, you can just fire people. You can just tell people, look, Nelson, everybody got different ways of expressing themselves. Some people think that probably we don't know if the people send letter to her. We don't know. Even she's, the press conference, we don't know if the lay complained, they call her and she played deaf ear. And many times we've been hearing this since right after the election. We start hearing the people are carrying out identical, protests. And even before the protest, they said it because Jenny asked them. At this point, Nelson, you one of the witnesses that were there. We all asked them, but you ever contact her? About what's going on and things. People say yes, but she playing deaf ear. She taking decision. She get she owning up money all the one. She don't want to pay all the one. And I think for her side, she needed to come out and explain her side, call a press conference, explaining her side. Even before that, and guess what? They work up waited until all the way until 2025. And it was still pushing that case. And the president take a decision that best fit the interest of them. And I see people like the other guys say everything in Liberia politicized. They don't know the genesis of anything, but they just say it because the way they see it, they feel, Nelson, the senator will come in Liberia, even when people won't do good. People won't do good. They will think that, oh yes, when do the thing here, people will think say, because of politics, they will bring politics inside. So people always break bad, Nelson, because every little thing in Liberia, politics in it. People doing this politics. There is nothing about that politics should be played in it because the president gave Madam Lansana long time since you remember since right after the election. She have she should have come up clean, calling the people, talking to your workmate, asking them questions. I think someone that went to they know all the books and things. I think when it comes to some degree of management, I don't think they get ideas on it. Because if your worker is angry, you the boss, you get a right to call a meeting, talk to them, listen to their cry. And if you can solve it, you sit down and make a solution. That's what makes you a good boss. But you're not counter them and say, why they got to protest? Is that right to protest? Because what they need, you don't give them to them. So I think the decision the president take, I believe the president should even fire her. Because she ain't got no regard and respect for her workers. And that is wrong. We all come here, we see the two, we say what Baga do wrong, I will say. When he do the right thing, I will say. But everything nursing time will come, People will politicize. Even a good thing yourself, you been doing, people will say, Nelson on the
Thank
other
you.
side. That's the country we find ourselves in.
I want to hold you there, Mob. Let's take Josh on this one, and this is very important. I want to play this few seconds again. Then Josh, you come.
Yeah. Oh.
It is disgusting to note that politicians such as the likes of Musa Belidi, Akarius Gray, and others are politicizing a matter of human rights and national security in support of a corrupt indictee.
So there you have it, Josh. Let's hear your take on this issue.
Nelson, once again, I just want to state here that I'm really surprised at my friends or my colleague on the show. The analysis is very poor. I think Sandy, I've always had him in a very high esteem. But tonight, I want to categorically state that his analysis on the issue is very poor. And here's why. Nelson, the commissioner does not sign the dismissal of anyone. HR does. HR says to you what is in your handbook that you contravene that causes your dismissal. Nelson, I have dismissed people. I have been dismissed from work as well. And I know that sometimes you know exactly that what you did was not good and you'll be dismissed. And you usually don't accept that, because you want a job. But the laws are on the books. You sign a contract that stated explicitly that certain things should not be done. And you went against those things. So the authority has the right to determine what happens to you, what your fate is. And in Liberia, everything becomes political, Nelson. It's sad. And I don't know, Nelson, this country is not going to survive in the next 10 years. It will continue on this trend because everything is politicized. That we condone nonsense in the name of something that we make up in our head. Nelson, these people, they protested, right? They protested for something that was untrue because they did not go through the red channel of grievance redress, right? So if you hear somebody say, oh, your boss maybe promoted somebody over you, that the person came maybe very late in the job and they are not even experienced, you apply for the same job in the same company, Nelson, there is a process that you can go through, not to go protest, Nelson. You can go and write the HR and say, look, HR, I did an interview for this job. I know that I'm qualified for this job and I want to know what exactly this guy was hired over me. You can do that. There are policies on the book for these things to happen. You jump in the street and go protest and go disrupt the normal activities of that entity, and then you expect to still remain there. Nelson, this is sickening. And Nelson, this is why our country continues to denigrate, to just go backward, I would say. Because everything that happens, instead of going and making educating our people say, no, you shouldn't do it this way. This is the right way to do it. We bring politics inside. Or you commissioner and you this and that. No, commissioner does not dismiss people. They can recommend the dismissal to the HR. HR will say the reason, and they'll give the reason why they want to do that. And the HR now will make sure that that reason correlates with exactly what is in the handbook that you sign against, that you are going to obey. But Nelson, I see my brothers here. They want to turn it around.
George, did you get the statement for those guys? Because what you're saying, maybe, yeah.
But that guy doesn't make any sense. Not because he spoke eloquently.
No. The guys are saying, the guys are saying, Josh, the guys are saying that the commissioner, the chairperson, unilaterally dismissed them. But that
I just stated that the commission does not have the right. on our people. Check that.
And that's why they have the issue.
Check
That's
that
why
criminal letter.
going
But that's where the problem comes from,
I don't understand, George.
Nelson.
Yeah,
Are
guys.
you
Let's
having issue with the protesters or
Let
the
me
president?
finish. Let me finish.
Let's give
guys.
Josh
Let me
his
finish.
time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
Nelson, if you check, I've seen the letter of termination of these guys. The commissioner did not sign the termination. The HR did. And the HR is the one who can hire and who can fire. Your supervisor can recommend to the HR, say, I don't want to serve anymore. This is what they did. The HR will investigate and find out that staff is culpable. And the action idea to be taken will be taken. Nelson, I have fired people before. I just fired 2 staff from my workplace. I know how it works. That's so for my brother Cindy to come on the show. Very experienced guy. And all these guys to come here and make mockery out of our systems. It's pathetic, Nelson. Nelson, let me tell you, the commission did not sign any termination. Waka is doing this thing because he knows what he's doing. And this is going to destroy our country, Nelson. And one of makes me cry. Because I just feel that we are going in a hole, we are digging our own hole, and we are pretending as if we are doing the right thing, only because we want to politicize things, Nelson. Nelson, the commission does not have the right to fire anybody, but guess what? He can recommend that you be fired. But that goes to his hour. His hour investigate and find out that you contravene something that commissioner has recommended you against. And when that is proven to be true, you are fired. So what is doing this here? And I just want to say this into
Nelson, how many times do we have?
I want to say this into President Boakai. Nelson, President Boakai has an opportunity to change the trajectory of this country into the path of prosperity. A path where we will make sure that Liberia becomes a place where everyone abides by the rule.
I want to hold you there, Josh.
This is very passionate. This is a passionate plea, and please allow me to just end it. And I'm not going to be denigrating to the president. Nelson, this country is our country. Wow. And whatever president that comes to power, we have the obligation to help them. And not because I'm a seditious, but I also hold this, as a responsibility to my country. As a patriot, to make sure that we try to redirect the energy of our president to the way in which that it will help our country to move forward. And I think President Boakai is not doing that. He has to change that direction.
So let me say this. When you said you wanted to cry, somebody said that political cry you wanted to carry on. I don't know whether it was a passionate cry or political cry. So the president said they were trying to find some political handkerchief to give to you so you could do a political cry. But listen, this is very serious, guys. This is the soul of the democracy of our country, the electoral process. It's the determining factor to some extent. It sort of determines where the peace of the country stands, whether the country is going to be peaceful or not. Electoral matters are very, very, very sensitive. Now, Cindy, I saw your hand up. You want to make a quick point, then we'll move to Rudolph.
Yes, please. I hate to come here and try to be very academic, but when a brother accused me of poor analysis on the topic, yet he could not even tell me or tell the public where or how my analysis was poor, then I want to send him back into
then he has got a problem.
He got a problem. Look, I use bias analysis here to address Nelson's point, but I'm going to use bias tendency when it comes to you, George. You're very biased in your approach. Once an individual is not supporting the side that will favor your side, the person is wrong. What I did, I outlined the importance of that institution. That's one thing I did. I also acknowledge that what is happening with those people speaking in the video should be considered seriously. And then third, I welcome the investigation into the matter. How is that a poor analysis? How is that a poor analysis? I don't know why academic institution taught you about poor analysis. I'm not going to be personal. Let's move on.
You know,
Yeah.
this is very important.
Nelson, let me go ahead or ask George coming
It's
from about.
interesting that they, you know, the ANC and the CDC, they are next door neighbors. So when they're doing that thing, you gotta be very careful how you get involved with it. Just a little advice to the UP folks here. But go ahead, Rudolph, and then we're gonna go to our brother Jeremy next.
So yes, Nelson, let me start by saying we are not running a therapy session here, or neither are we massaging people emotions here. Because our brother has talked about crying on this show now more than 5 times already. We are not massaging people emotions here, my brother. But to the point, Nelson, if anyone or anyone who may conjecture that or surmise that the president took this action because of the upcoming by-election in Nimba County, I mean, that person is either living in a state of perpetual oblivion, or that person is just allergic to the truth or to being honest, right? Because here is it: we have followed this.
Rudolph, perpetual oblivion, and all the BB book that you can speak in, my man. Is there any reason why the political minds that are supposed to be far-sighted should not look at this thing using the political lens?
No, and Nelson, that's when I was coming out when you cut me off. So here is it, Nelson. Since this president took over, we have followed his track record. This is a president who listens to his people and takes actions. We saw that with the army wives. He took action. This is a president who is known for listening. He listens to his people and he takes actions in the right directions. I would like to believe that before this action was taken, there was thorough investigation made behind the scenes, and there were findings that informed the president's decision. And some of these investigations, most of them don't have to come into the public domain. These are sensitive investigations that go to the death of the president and people who are privy to it, not just to all of us here. So for us to just come here and say, oh, because Prince Johnson died and there's an upcoming election, so the president wants to have his own person in there to influence the process, that is a bit too presumptuous to say, my people. We should, when we come on here, I know we say it's free to talk, but we should observe our limits. You don't just throw out wild allegations because you don't like the president or because you are on the other side of the spectrum. That is wrong. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't have any evidence or whatsoever, but you just come on the show and tell us, or because there's the president is doing this because of this reason. That is not true. Let us stop misinforming the public. JMB has been a man who listens and takes action, and this is just one of the many instances that he have listened and taken action. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeremy, you want to come in? Josh, let's have Jeremy to come in. Then we're going.
Oh, thank you, brother Nelson. You guys getting me?
Yeah. Okay. So you want to disconnect the earpiece or the earphone?
Oh, I have to work down. So when I disconnect, the other guy was saying, yeah. So
go ahead.
Can I continue?
The man is sitting down. Just count on the hours.
No, you see the problem, my brother, with the NEC people. They into the process. They know what is happening, what the boss been doing to them. So we are outsiders.
It's a lady.
Yeah, I know now. They know what the boss lady been doing to them. So what they expressing to the public, nobody should have problem with them. For me, I disagree with Musa Bedede. I'm sorry to say the man is a freshman lawmaker. Why would the president consult him before he suspend someone? Let him go and read their own law. You don't know he's a freshman lawmaker. They need to call someone also who will educate them. The president won't suspend someone, they will call him to get it approval before. That's what the law told him. So you get more to learn. It's the same man that destroyed the CPP today. The people who are smart, they end up leaving the CPP. So that Musa Belede man, if you tell you say a day left, you need to check us out before you get us out. So the president did it right too, my brother. You don't need to consult him before to suspend. So anybody like the president want to suspend him or tell Musa Belede before that what the law say.
No, but again, he's coming from a backdrop that the legislature, not necessarily him as an individual, but the legislature should. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting you. No part of the law say that if the president want to suspend someone, they should get the approval of the legislature. No, it's not true. I challenge the entire house. It's not true.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Jeremy. George, you want to take a few seconds and then we zero in on the last conversation and go to the
Nelson.
George
you guys can hear me.
Can I take a few seconds after George?
You guys can hear me clearly.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Nelson, this country is headed for, disaster. I think we Liberians, I think we have a little bit of a short memory span, right? We remember LTA, the commissioner was suspended by President Bouakai. He said because of financial impropriety, also financial malpractices. 1 year ago, those people were suspended. The investigation, have we heard anything from the investigation? No. This president has an agenda because he previously nominated people for that position. And the people were on a standby. He had to make ways for them to go into their offices, so he suspended the people from LTA. Now, saying up to this time, we haven't heard anything. Today, he has suspended the NEC boss because she fired her staff. Nelson, because she fired her staff, she recommended the fire of her staff. The president come and pass the hand wall and take off from there because she fired her staff that she hired. Nelson, you see, when we say these things, people think that because we are seditious. Nelson, I'm talking as an educated person and an experienced person. What the president is doing is wrong. Let me tell you, Nelson, let's forget about Musa Belede. Let's forget about him as a person. Let's consider the legislature as a branch that has oversight responsibility of these ministries. You think if something had happened, you think it wasn't prudent enough for this president to inform the legislature that this is the action he wants to take? He should have, Nelson. And this is the thing that when people say this thing, Nelson, they want to make it political. Nelson, I am not, even though I'm here, like my name says, CDC Australia, and I have a very strong bond with CDC, Nelson, I'm a Liberian first before I became a seditious. So, Nelson, I will say the truth here, Nelson. I will say that what the president is doing is wrong. And you can say, Nelson, I know that what I do on here, many years to come, my sons or my daughters will watch these things from YouTube or from whatever service. And they'll say, our dad said this thing, and he stood his ground. And I'm not saying this because anybody told me to say that, but Nelson, I'm speaking from experience and my level of education. That this president is overreaching his powers. What he's doing is trying to establish a government in which that he will make decisions unilaterally. The same thing that he's accusing of the next boss of doing, that's what he's done. Should he be fired for that?
Thank you.
Should he be fired for that? It's pathetic.
You get fired the president. You get a president, says their job, and you won't fire him after the first year.
But that's what the next boss was. She was giving a 6-year term as well.
Guys, we have to
Nelson, I have one question for George. Only just one question.
Go ahead. Let's answer a question, please.
George, can you point out any law, be it in the Constitution or wherever, that says before the president take an action to suspend a tenured official, he has to engage or he has to have a consultation with the legislature? Can you point out any law that says that, please?
Okay, so if you want to say that, and Rudolph, I really respect you.
I'm not
And
saying
yes,
I'm asking you a
yeah,
question.
listen, yeah. I'm saying, and I'm not going to point out a law, but guess
Okay.
what? Before the president can
you will not point out a law, so we should-
yeah, but Nelson, let me just say quickly, for the fact that before the president can appoint somebody and the president become a minister, it has to meet the approval of the legislature. It is prudent enough that when he wants to remove the people, he should also tell the same people that approve his powers. They approve his power. You cannot be a minister if you're not confirmed. You cannot be a minister if you're not
It's sad
confirmed.
to say, but you don't understand how government runs.
guys, we have to.
That's not true, and you know that. You're just saying it because you want to say it.
I want us to zero in with this one. So the LNP, the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, this photo has been making rounds on the internet today when he went out, while driving out of town. One of the checkpoints. Now, most of the drivers are complaining about how they are being harassed by police officers at some of those, by some police officers at some of those checkpoints. They get there, it's either you pay the $100, you pass, or they will park you. So the IG on its way back today came across this checkpoint and he saw the guys with black plastic. He engaged the guys. Let me see, why in the plastic? And then he got to realize that the guys were doing their regular collection and their money. Some people say susu money or whichever money. I don't know whichever way you want to put it, but the many money were in the plastic. And he turned those guys over to the professional standard division there at the Liberia National Police for investigation. After which those gentlemen actions will be taken if they are guilty of harassing or accepting bribes from taxi drivers and other folks out there who have gone out to do their regular activities. But I want to get the thing. But there were a few things he said. He said what he saw today clearly demonstrate or signals to him the challenges that he, as an Inspector General, will have to deal with at the level of the Liberia National Police, and what the issues are there. But I want us to zero in on this conversation because we're about to go to the phone lines. Maybe we can take less than a minute, let's say 45 seconds each on this, as we go ahead. So let's start with you, Moba, and then we're going to take
Yes, can you start with me, please? We got on the ground, please.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're on the ground. We're gonna
in the air.
Yeah, you guys are sitting in America and talking. I'm here. And guess what? And you guys will benefit from my analysis.
You are in your hotel room. Nelson is in a studio, so you.
Mama, let me tell my own. You tell my own. But look, Nelson, let me be real, right? I watch the police officers. They are actually sacrificing their life. Trying to bring calm and stability in the country. But I think taking money from civilians is wrong. We shouldn't condone that. I think the RG was right. And let it go through the proper investigation. And when they found guilty, probably the RG can probably take some action. But I don't want the RG to fire them, but they can open a workshop for half of them. Explain to them. And secondly, I think.
So what do you think should go on in the workshop?
Explaining look, Nelson.
Don't.
Yeah, we listen. First of all, we know they do. We know that. But I think one of the players or all the stuff coming from some of them working over there, they're on payroll. Some of the police working over there. Guess what? Nelson, they're making $75. per month. They get children to go. I'll say what they did is right. But I'm just trying to lay some premises that the government need to, look at those people, the police officers, and try to, at least carry that money out a little bit and cause some workshop, educate them on some of those things. Because, look, next thing, we are not perfect. What they're doing, they harassing citizens, for money because they understand that probably they wait for one more, someone gets on the fire, and someone on payroll, someone that they do to get money. So I think the RG need to address a lot of things in the police. Taking no point from the street, it will not happen again. It will happen all. But what they need to do, I think the government.
Does this set any deterrence? Does this in any way set a deterrent?
Nothing like that. Because even the RG took the money, right? They assume they put the people, they send the people. Probably the only way, and I don't think it will stop. Even when he fired those people nesting, I don't think it will still stop. But it will still do what it can do to get something. That tussle. But the government now need to put in some mechanism in place so that those police officers, even the men and those nesting, the person who in the interior, it never getting good shelter. No, they were not getting good benefit. They're just sacrificing their life. If we want take a stand, let us be real and say the truth. Because half of the police officer, even someone said that children are even on insurance. That they are left not insured. That any government, anything happen to them are free. So all the things the government need to come and what people talking, they say, oh, that
Mama, where exactly do you stand with this conversation? Your 45 seconds is exhausted. I gave you 10 seconds to say where you stand on this conversation. So
call the workshop, number one, for by depot to depot or station to station. Call the workshop. After the workshop, as an RG, address the issue with the government that what is going on. The people need certain amount of increasement in salary and also some benefit.
Thank you. Let's take Josh, and then we're going to take Cindy.
Yeah, Nelson, I think what I'm going to say here is going to be a little bit controversial. But I have to say it because, it's the truth. And I think somebody's going to hold my truth, how to say it. I had an encounter with the IG. So I was having lunch at a restaurant, a local restaurant near Monrovia, next to the American Embassy, where people sit for interview. And this lady who owns this place called Tanchi, I think Banto, yeah. And I was when I got in there, I met RG having lunch as well. And I sat down to eat, and he looked at me, I look at him. I know that he doesn't know me. I know him, but he doesn't know me. So I started while eating. He was about to go out with his bodyguard behind him. One of the tissue that I was using to wipe my mouth, it fell from me. This guy went on me and bent down and picked up that tissue and gave it to me. And all his bodyguard was saying,
"Tissue and gave it to you."
The IG.
Oh, okay.
And I was shocked by his gesture. And I said, "Thank you." And he said, "Thank you." And he shook my hand. I shook his hand. He walked out. So you see, his bodyguards did not pick up my tissue. I don't know why he did that for, but I think, look, it's a gesture that moved me actually, and I feel that when President Barker talked about humility in service, I think he brought that to fruition, right? And I like the guy for that, and I think as a person, I think he in a way exemplifies some good leadership, because I think next time when his bodyguard sees someone, they can do something, like in a very humble way as well. And I was moved, and I must say, but Nelson, here's the thing: I've been driving around Monrovia, CDC time and this time. There is a difference. When I was driving during CDC time, my vehicle just imported here. It was not registered, and I was driving it, and every step I took, they would take money from me. Now my vehicle is registered, completely registered, and I'm driving. Now, see, a few days ago, I was at 72nd Johnson. A police officer stopped me and asked me, "Where is your real license?" My wife was in the car with me. "Show me your real license." And my wife said, "George, you're not talking about your license, you're talking about your real license." and she took up money and gave it to them, and we laughed, we passed, and they were laughing at us, right? Now, see, I don't see. And even before that, I gave money. Let me tell you, I stopped and see a police officer when I pass, but then go, to town. I come back, I see them still standing in the same hustle. I take my hand and give them money, right? Just to appreciate them, what you guys do. When they say that is the whole issue, I think what the IG has done is a deterrent, right? It will serve as a deterrent for people who will do the wrong thing. But also, he has to be very careful. Nelson, I've driven because my parents live in Mount Barkley area. I have to drive to Rayleigh to go there every day, right? And I've seen that today I was driving and I saw the police pull over a taxi in front of me. And I was curious to ask, why are they putting the taxi over? What did they see? And my little brother who sat in the car with me said, because the trunk of that car is open. These guys will overload a taxi and they'll park that taxi and they'll try to interrogate why you have to leave your trunk open and that with all the load over there and people sitting under there. It's dangerous for them, for their safety. So these things are all conjugated into something that I think it is a good thing that this IG is trying to make sure that its people don't extort money from people, but also some people are doing the wrong things. And sometimes we give the people money because we feel that their job is a bit difficult for them. Sitting in the house for the entire day. So I think the IG is doing a good job, but let you also take into consideration some of us who willingly, without being stopped or without being harassed, and just take something and give to these guys, just to buy them cold water because they are sitting in the hustle the entire day directing vehicles to pass by them. I think that's my own take on this issue.
Thanks a lot, Josh. Let's hear you on this, Cindy. Let's get your take.
Nelson, can I go first so I can put my son to bed, man? Please.
Okay, so Rudolph, you want to go?
Yeah.
Go.
Can we put the picture down a little bit? Okay, yes, Nelson.
Here from the beginning of the show. Everybody not see Rudolph.
So yes, Nelson. I feel like police officers should be making decent wages, right? But if one is trying to use that as an excuse for what they do for taking bribe or for being, because that is criminal, for being criminal, then I don't support that. Because Nelson, and what's his name? Lane Lacour said it right in the comment. That act, of taking bribe by the police is not just it's not just in that one sector. That act is carried across. Nelson, one who is a criminal in nature is always a criminal. We have seen people in the legislature where they make a lot of money. Those people who left from humble beginnings, so some of them were money changers, and they were being corrupt as money changers. Now, where they are making sufficient money, they are still being corrupt. So you cannot say pay them more money to stop that. That is not how we solve that problem. I think these people should be investigated and be penalized for their action, so that we can set a deterrent for their friends not to do it anymore. But if you say, oh, let's just give them more money, then they will not do it. Sorry to say, but it's not going to fix the issue. And let me just close like this. Our fellow viewers, let me say this before I leave. George is a very decent big brother, and we respect each other a lot. Whether we go back and forth on this show is just for the purpose of, intellectual exchange, but we both love each other, and we do respect each other a lot. Thank you.
So the mayor standing olive branch.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. So George can beat him in the back.
So the guy is scared. But anyway, go ahead, Cindy.
No, he's not scared. He's just doing the right thing.
I agree with Rudolph. Look, there is absolutely no justification for any act of corruption. Absolutely. So what the Liberian National Police IG has done is to send a signal that corruption is not allowed and that the police force is a professional force. So we should do that. We should embrace the idea. We should embrace that. Nelson, the last time we talked about drugs in the country, because of corruption, is why it's the reason we see a lot of drugs in the country because of corruption at our different borders, the different entries to our country. I said the last time, when you get to the airport, instead of an immigration officer properly checking you and everything that you bring in the country, they ask you, my son, what you bring for me. It's very, very sad. That level of corruption put the country at risk. When a police officer pull you over when you commit a crime, instead of punishing you based on the law, they get money from you. Nelson, I was pulled over the last time in Liberia because I was recording the president convoy right in Singa. You know, I have my camera, I'm a YouTuber. So I was just recording in my car. I was sitting in my car recording. The police officer came and saw me. He saw me doing that. Oh, the man pulled me outside of the car. I was doing the wrong thing. I shouldn't be recording the president convoy. Okay, I said, okay, that's fine. Take me to Central. I'm willing to go. I've committed a crime. Take me. The man took me to a little booth, I think around 9th Street or so. I should give him money. I told him, if I give you 1 cent, change my name. I'd rather sleep here tonight than to give you a penny. And we were on that thing back and forth, back and forth. The man let me go without paying him. Look, the level of corruption in our security sector is terrible. So I applaud the IG for doing that. But I want to add to the many voices that let the Liberia police force and any other security force be professional. And in order for them to be professional, to be less corrupt, you must also treat them professionally, meaning pay them decent wages that will come on time. Come on time is the key. And change those guys' uniforms, make them look good. Most of our police officers only have one uniform, Nelson. You see them look terrible on those streets. They look terrible. Those guys are not getting their salary on time. But thank God, at the 2025 budget, put in there 880.7 million. We are expecting an increase in the police salary to a minimum of $150. And
but let me let me say that the minimum wage is 150.
Okay.
So there's no one making that $75 thing. No. If you're employed, the least you will make is 150. Yeah,
so
just
we will expect to see even a high or an increase in the salary. I also heard that first time that our police officer will have health insurance. I hope it's a good one. I hope it will cover them and their family. Nelson, Lean Lagbo, you're right. I'm going to bring Rwanda into this.
Will United help?
I mean, United. I wish United can insure them, but unfortunately, we are now operating in Liberia right now. Look, the Rwanda police officer make far less than the Liberian police. When you're talking about 150, we're talking about 90K Rwanda franc, which is less than $90,000. 85K. But that salary comes on time. That police officer whole family have health insurance, wife and children, plus the police officer health insurance, free education, and then subsidized groceries incentive. That means the police officer go to certain stores. What you, Nelson, will buy, for instance, $50 for a bag of rice, that police officer in Rwanda will probably buy for $25. Right? So the man is, you have all that incentive. Obviously, you can be corrupt in that country,
Thank you.
not as a police officer. But we need to apply similar principles in Liberia. Let their children go to free school, give them health insurance, give them some incentive. The little you pay them, let it come on time. You will see that they will be energized to go to work and do the Liberian people work.
Thank you.
But I welcome what the IG did.
Thank you, Cindy. Let's go to the phone lines and take just a few calls now. 0555-101075 is the number to call. 0555-101075. And you can also call us on the WhatsApp number. I'm going to put the WhatsApp up as well. Let's talk to our first caller here. Hello, your name and where you joining us from?
Nothing.
Morning. Let's hear you.
I'm Che Prometheus calling from SKD Boulevard.
Go ahead.
The issue of the IG, what he did was just in line. For instance, if you continue that process, it will be very fine for Liberia, because from my setting, from the SKD Boulevard area here, if you come in the morning and see policemen harassing, testing around motor no, you feel too bad. Those guys used to, I heard one of my brothers talking about changing their uniform. Some of these guys are just steady. They just look at themselves. Most of those ones in the red light, they just in a red light, they just allow themselves to take, job. Most of them are not police officers like the other one that were put over the last time. He was dismissed from the police force long ago, but he still uses the old uniform, harassing.
Oh, what's happening? Too bad. Let's bring someone in from the WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello, Nasim.
Yeah, hello. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Nasim, my name is William.
Yeah,
I'm calling from Parkwood.
Yeah, William, go ahead.
Yeah, Nasim, the concern has to do with the election commissioner suspension.
Yeah.
There's something that George now understanding in the suspension of the election commission. The president did not suspend her because she just fired people. The suspension says because she did not consult those commissioners in the facility. That's the reason they suspend her. And as for the police IG, I really appreciate him for the work he's doing, most especially seizing money from those guys. That's it. Our Liberian police, they just pour people name because those guys, they are the most corrupt people in that place, and we support.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I don't know why your stuff just went down. But yeah, hello. You're live. Let's hear you. Who talking about bucket there? Hello? Hello? Okay, so let's allow this person go before we have something else. Hello?
Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
All right, thank you very much. This is my first time calling over your radio. My name is Lord God. Lord God, I'm from Plywood, Maryland County. I'm very over here, Redbourne, Dominion Community. Lord God, government. I say thank you to you people. I've been monitoring since my arrival here in Monrovia. And I tell you, thank you for all your efforts you have been putting in. And then I call to the people you have me a guest here in Monrovia. I am your stranger here in Monrovia. I'm here to tell you people that government, I'm here on earth. So I tell you, thank you. Please, I appeal to you people that let stability and maturity and responsibility please flow in your government. As I'm here on earth, I want to be recognized.
Wait. Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
You say your name is Lord God? Oh my word! Why did we? He said he's Lord God and owner of government, and he's on earth. But we are all on earth. So what's anyway, we will take just 2 more calls and then we wrap up.
He's a comedian. I think they are comedians.
Yeah, good evening, Nelson, and good evening to your panelists.
Yeah, go ahead.
John Fireman.
Yeah, John, go ahead.
Nelson, nowadays when I hear musicians speaking, they get way of praising their friends. When it comes to the topic, they get way of praising and they say, my brother, I trust your intellectual ability, but when it comes to this one here, I disagree with you. That's the same theory that our brother George using on the show. You see, we tell you that in all cases, it's our always right in sacking or dismissing or their staffers. They are now in all cases they are right. Well, our brother George, he got to know this. Now in all cases, it's our right in sacking or dismissing or staffers. It's impossible. Next to the issue of the LMP, is welcoming. There are few people in this government that President Walker appointed that are really doing excellent job. We always follow the issue about Gregor Como, and he's really doing well. We got to praise him. We got to be realistic and be patriotic. Yeah, that's the only way our country will go forward. So our brother George, you got to analyze sometimes when he's saying things, or then you come on the show and say, yes, he's educated with this, with that, or some issues that you don't. Maybe somehow it's political line. That's why you come up with that.
Thank you.
But it's not always. Thank you for the show, man.
Thank you, John. Let's take Emmy. Emmy wants to make an input. Malaysia territory. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you on.
Hi, Nelson. Hey, everyone.
Good evening, Emmy.
I wanted to come on, but I kind of got in late, so I decided to give you a call. I was listening when I came here. I was listening to George, right, about the suspension of Davietta, Madam Davietta Lasana Brown. He was saying something about. I mean, I don't understand what George was saying, lecturing us about how HR works. To me, I was confused because he left the whole issue and telling her about how it works in the HR. And the letter, the suspension letter, I don't think says that they suspended her because she fired her staff. The letter says that she had no authority doing it on her own. She's supposed to consult with a board of chairs or whatever, but she did not do that. Like every other thing that she did, she's supposed to consult with the rest of it, and she did not do that. She did it on her own, and that was violation. So I don't know. I was confused when George was talking about, oh, in HR, you do this, you do that, you do that. Yeah, he confusing it. But every time my brother George want to cry, but I don't know what can stop him from crying. Maybe I need to get him some pepper to eat. That will help him to cry when he wants to talk about these things and start misleading our people and talking things that don't make no sense because they say the past 6 years he ain't cried. Just 1 year he won't cry. He get 5 years to cry, Josh. And I will help you get your pepper to cry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that pan bottle you put that pepper in George say your favorite soup that pan bottle. But I think we out of time. Let me just squeeze one last person from the local line. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah. Morning.
And good morning to the peaceful citizen of Liberia. On the topic of the police.
What's your name, sir, and where you could join us from?
I'm calling from Upper Caldwell, Marshall Street. I'm Brother Eric K. Brown.
Okay, Mr. Brown, go ahead.
On the police topic, the carrying of time to people that move the vehicles because you got more police assigned to St. George, and they have to call friends and say, "Oh, mess up for me, I will be there." And then they stay on the street. Then they can get past. You pay $100, and then move back. The rest you pay. Any other day they share, and for Friday, it's spoiling the country good. Even at the police stations, you got criminals that just harass people when you take them to the station, and there are people in the airport and say, "Oh, my interest," and then drive the police. They put the person also. If the case will even go to Central, it will not go there without that. When you go there, they say, "Oh, the man was here. The man, somebody free the man from jail." And they come when they say you see them, they will drain you in the case when you not get to go Central. So that's the country we find ourselves. So the whole country now can't understand what's going on. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your input, sir. Let's do our closing. Josh, you want to start? You want to do your closing, and then Cindy will be next. Mobile.
Thank you, Nelson. And look, I want to thank all of the callers and those who did not even get you the lines who was trying to call, and those who were just paying or listening ear. And what I want to say is that when I made the remarks about the firing of those people from the National Election Commission, I was very explicit. I said any supervisor can recommend the dismissal of a staff member giving reasons, and that reasons or those reasons have to be sent to the HR. HR will investigate, and when they find probable cause for dismissal, they will dismiss you. Does that mean that the person who recommended your fire is the one that dismisses you? No, the rules and regulation of an entity that you contravene are the ones that are firing you. But guess what? Everything will be politicized. In Liberia, even if you eat, it's politicized. And that's why we have to be very careful. Because I see my sister is telling me that she will give me pepper to cry. No, I don't need pepper to cry. I would better use that pepper in my palm butter, because I get very natural, you know. I don't want to say natural, but I want to say very authentic vegetables here to use in a palm butter in conjunction with the pepper. And I will use it and I'll enjoy myself. But I'm not going to use it to cry, because I will decide or when to cry and where to cry. But here's the thing, Nelson. People continue to misconstrue what is happening in Liberia to something else. I'll tell you, anybody who is in an entity, let me tell you, if your organization, like you go into school and they say you should not wear a uniform after school and go to the club, if your fellow students see you in the club and they carry a complaint to the school and there are pictures and evidence that you went to the club with your uniform on, you will be dismissed from that school, if that's what the rule says. Does that mean that the student who saw you, who recommended you, who told the HR or who told the school that they saw you in the club and they really know the rules of that entity? That's what is stated in your letter of dismissal. But our people will continue to make things up only because they want to make a political point. But that's it. To just conclude, I think President Bouakai is going to drive the country into the ground. And he's doing that using the legal system here, and also by just taking unilateral decisions.
Okay, thank you.
He has suspended tenure positions. He has done all sorts of things, and without any check, because our legislature now, that's why he wanted to remove, and that's why he has successfully, because I want to say successfully, removed Fonati Kofa. That's why he's done that.
So, are you saying that Fonati Kofa is no longer speaker? Is that what you're saying?
I still believe that he is the legitimate speaker. But President Bouakai has sidestepped this guy. And Nelson, this is very dangerous for our democracy. This is very dangerous for our democracy. But look, we're here. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it on the show tomorrow. And I want to, just to close up, I want to appreciate you. Man, now my eyes is like I have to hold it up like that, Mr. Ibu. I have to do that this to be able to talk. It's about, I think, 4 a.m. here, and it is crazy what you do, man, for this country and for your audience. I want to appreciate you, and I will come and see you tomorrow. I'm not far from your studio, but you're doing a incredible job, and I think we all need to rally around to just appreciate you for this show, because, man, it's difficult, man. I appreciate you, brother. Hats off to you.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks a lot. And you know, we do what we do as our own contribution to the democracy of the country, and we're all in this together. All of you across the world joining in from our respective locations. We do this because we want to see our country progress. Yeah. Cindy, you want to go ahead? You're closing.
Well, I'm gonna be very quick. I'm not going to be the judge who trying to praise, sing here and cry and all that. But it was another great show, Nelson. Thank you for having us. Another wonderful show tonight that we can talk Liberia. Look, our government continue to emphasize on priorities, and this is priorities, and that is priority, and the fire service department is not much of a priority. The roads going to the various counties are not much of a priorities, and it seems that we are paying more salaries. That's what we've been doing for a very long time. I want to encourage the government and all well-meaning Liberians, again, push on this issue of cutting down the wasteful spending, cutting down the excessive salaries that are going to the lawmakers. And let us build a country first. Nelson, Liberia is really a rich country. Forget about the gold, the diamonds, the iron ore. Just think about the natural vegetation of our country. What is stopping us from making that road that goes to Raversport? Just a small stretch, few miles from the road. There's already a quota road or a paved road. You just need to brush it into Raversport. Raversport, man, is a beautiful place. Let us prioritize building the country, linking the various counties, bringing in electricity, stable internet services, like the one Judge have tonight at the very expensive hotel he's staying in. Let's have it across the country so that tourists can come and help us rebuild our country. We cannot do it alone. The little money that the government is generating cannot do it alone. When we start to promote tourism all across, look at what's happening at the Mount Nimba, whatever they have there, those little buildings they have up the mountain there in Nimba.
Echo Lodge.
The Echo Lodge in Nimba. Look at what's happening there. Can we have similar thing across all of the county? Plus more. We have rain forest. We have waterfall all across Liberia. Mountain. My man, things that we are paying for to go to the Caribbean to see. People are stressed in the West. They want to get away. They want to go to nature. They want to experience those things. We have it in abundance. But yet we will not put money there. Instead, we'll continue to pay lawmakers a lot of money for making noise. I call them noise maker now, to make noise. And then we give them $45,000 a year for 3 years, that we will not even get back as a country. If President Bouakai is serious about the betterment of our country and uplifting our people from poverty, I want to encourage him tonight. Make Liberia visa upon arrival, or better yet, visa free to all African countries. Let's make it easier for people to access Liberia. Let's make it easier for people to go to Liberia, enjoy the space, spend their money there, and let them help us rebuild our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Mama, take us home. I hope you don't take the Sandy and George path. Sandy said you would not be as long as George. but
I will start with my brother. Sandy on that tourism issue. Look, you see Tuba today. Everybody running to Tuba. Tuba was very poor country, very poor.
You mean Dubai?
Yeah, more than Liberia, more than some African country. Tuba was very poor. But when they discovered that oil and things started working out for them, they were not corrupt. And the people decide a certain year, maybe in 2000 or when that oil will be out, what they need to do, the people came up with strategy, or economic strategy, tourism. Today, everybody running to Tuba. Tuba not depending on oil no more. They're depending on people coming from Australia, America, Japan, whatsoever around the world, going there. So I think now every day people that can just discuss politics. So that we get solution. So that we talk and we look at people who in government, who get money, who capable of doing those things. Like my brother emphasized on Kidman, right? Lake Piso. You think Lake Piso that fun when you go to that place, you see Blue Lake. Look how they get Blue Lake in Bomi. Right? Then go to Lake Piso. Go look at that road, that dusty road. How long from that area? That place we 45 something miles per hour. You can put that place of quota and make that put decent hotel over there. You know, make that place look good. People will start going down there. But nothing like that. Every day you wake up in the morning, the other person protesting, the other person steal the other money, the other person do they want everything about politics. And I think when we live on a path, like bro, not do anything. Or anytime we wake up without talk politics, the other person corrupt. What are we doing? What are we doing to help? What are we doing to at least carry on this? You know, we give it out there how much some people in government can do those things, but we also appealing to other people, diaspora, like people that do what he's doing, trying to mobilize, get some money and carry factory in the country. That's alone is a plus to the Liberian people. That job creation, that's the type of thing we're supposed to be talking about. It's not every day we can be on government, we be on Joria, we be on Joseph Baga, we be on Mr. Kumi, we be on Tewa Gonglo. These people, they are only one.
So Mama, now this thing you are describing as kilometer per hour.
Kilometer per hour. No, I say kilometer per hour. Don't laugh. You might not laugh even him, man.
This was the response Mama gave for a question that was asked him.
That was asked. What is carbon dioxide? The person who born in a car and dioxide is called carbon dioxide. You go call in Paris.
When Mama gave the answer, he got 0 or 5.
Oh, they asked him, man, what is carbon dioxide? Oh, okay, so they made the
and they were punishing over here for saying that.
Well, guys,
we want to say,
I just want to say the Blue Lake number that you referenced is no longer there.
Ain't that again?
Western Cluster is mining that place.
My man, look at when we used to go to that place, you see the say, yeah. My man, look, like, bro, I think we need to.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we have to go. I want to say thanks to everyone. We will be back hopefully tomorrow. Until then, have a good night. Thank you, Josh.
God bless you all. Yeah.
And thanks to you, Mobat.